So what exactly is sustainability? My name is Alexander Nava, I'm with Education to Success, and today we're going to be answering that exact question. If I told you that the world is going green, but we're still digging up more stuff, throwing away more electronics, and building more fossil power because of AI, would you believe me? Because that's basically what's happening in 2026 in one sentence. Sustainability isn't recycling, it isn't a trendy label, it's not even just saving the planet. Today I'm going to be explaining sustainability in a way that actually matters for real life. Fast, simple, and practical. By the end of this video, you'll be able to spot fake ego claims, understand the biggest sustainability battles happening right now, and know what actions are actually helping the planet or spinning the needle towards saving the world. Alright, so what is sustainability? So sustainability is meeting human needs today without breaking the Earth's systems we depend on so future people can meet their needs too. That's the core idea. It's not about perfection, it's about whether our way of life can keep going. Most people think that sustainability is only the environment, but it's actually three pillars working together. First, we have the environment. Can the planet handle that? Second, we have society. Is it fair? Is it safe? Is it healthy? Is it livable? And then third, we have economy. Can people afford it, and can it support real jobs and stability? Real sustainability is the overlap, because if it's green but people can't live with it, it won't last. And if it's profitable but it destroys ecosystems and health, it's not sustainable and it's not really helping anybody. Now let's do a quick myth busting, because this is where people get a little played. Sustainability isn't exactly just recycling more. Recycling helps obviously, but it's just a small piece of the full system. Sustainability is also not just a net zero. You can cut carbon emissions, but also there's still going to be other key factors, such as destroying forests, water drainage systems, and creating toxic waste. So sustainability basically isn't one perfect product. It's going through the pros and cons and justifying the trade-offs of what will be best for us as humans and in terms of saving the planet and helping the planet. So instead of asking, is this sustainable, a better question would be, what problem are we trying to solve, and what new problems will we be creating from this solution? So here's sustainability in 3 words: limits, fairness, and long term. Limits: Earth has physical boundaries, right? So we have a climate, biodiversity, water, pollution, land. Fairness: people shouldn't be sacrificed for someone else's convenience, meaning third world countries shouldn't be harmed for a first world country's convenience. Long term, it's basically the idea that Earth has boundaries, right? Or kind of thresholds. You push beyond them too far, and you can trigger changes that might be too hard or impossible to reverse. Now, sustainability used to sound like a future problem, and to many they still treat it as a future problem, like maybe one day we'll have to deal with it, or I'll let the next generation deal with it. But in 2026, it's not a future issue, it's a current issue that's happening right now. So let's talk about the 5 biggest sustainability battles happening right now. So here's battle number 1, climate. Every year, the world talks about climate targets, but the real question is, are emissions actually dropping fast enough? And one of the most important reports on Earth is the Emissions Gap Report, which tracks the difference between what governments promise and what's needed to stay within safer warming limits. And the big takeaway is, we're still not closing the gap fast enough. Battle number 2 would be the energy transition meeting AI electricity demands. Here in 2026, a lot of people don't realize that AI and data centers are driving major growth in electricity demand. That's not inherently evil, it's just reality of using that technology, but it does come with its risks. So in order to meet that demand, we're going to have to build fossil power plants that are going to be long-lived, and they're basically going to lock in emissions for decades. So sustainability isn't just build renewables, it's also how do we power growth without rebuilding the pollution problems in a new form. And going on to battle number 3, which is nature and biodiversity, the crisis a lot of people tend to ignore. So if climate change is going to be the headline, then biodiversity loss is basically going to be the silent collapse. Biodiversity isn't just about animals who are losing their homes or being harmed by human pollution. It's pollination, food webs, forests, fisheries, clean water cycles, soil health. Stuff that civilization runs off. You can't have a stable economy on a collapsing ecosystem. Nature is infrastructure as well. And moving on to battle number 4, which is materials. Our economy is becoming less circular. Here's a stat that honestly shocks a lot of people. The global economy is only around 7% circular, meaning most of what we use is actually becoming waste rather than us reusing that again as material. So even if we electrify and power everything such as homes, cars, and factories, If we're still mining and dumping at today's scale, we're just shifting the damage to another issue. Sustainability is not only about clean energy, it's also just about how much stuff we use, how long it will last, and whether we can repair or reuse it. And moving on to battle number 5, our final battle, which is going to be e-waste, the fastest growing trash problem. E-waste is kind of the stuff that you don't really think about until it's piled up. So we're talking about phones, laptops, chargers, vapes, appliances, batteries, gadgets, and a lot of it contains valuable metals plus toxic materials. I mean, a main issue is a lot of people are using these vapes. Vapes contain lithium ion batteries, but except they're kind of single use. They're used once and they're thrown away, even though the battery inside still contains a lot of charge and potential that can still be used. So here's the problem. E-waste is growing incredibly fast and only a fraction is properly collected and recycled. So we're throwing away all these valuable materials, but we're still dealing with the poison of pollution and how it's hurting our planet. And that brings us to a bonus battle that you've definitely heard about, which is going to be plastic. The world is still negotiating a sort of global plastics treaty, and it matters because plastics is not just litter. It's fossil fuels, it's chemical additives, it's microplastics, it's a global waste system that fails at scale. So those are all the battles, but now you might be thinking, cool. So how do I tell if something is actually sustainable? Here's the cheat code. It's life cycle thinking. That means you're looking at the whole story. You're looking from extraction to manufacturing to shipping to use and end of life. Because one of the biggest lies in green manufacturing is only showing you one part of the story and calling it the entire truth. So you can actually use this simple 5 bucket test to actually judge everything. Bucket 1, which is climate. What are the greenhouse gas emissions across its full life cycle? Bucket 2, which is nature. Does it drive deforestation? Does it drive habitat loss? Does it drive biodiversity harm? Or does it drive land overuse? Bucket 3, which is water. How much water is it being used? Is this water being polluted after use? Bucket 4, which is toxins. Are there harmful chemicals in this product? Are there heavy metals? Are there persistent pollutants within this product? And finally, bucket 5, which is materials. Is it durable? Is it repairable? Is it reusable? Is it recyclable? Or is it just a short-lived product made from virgin materials, like single-use plastic? If a brand is saying they're eco-friendly, but they're not showing any meaning within these 5 buckets, then they're selling a feeling, not a solution. And there's another important concept, the rebound effect. Sometimes efficiency lowers the cost of using something, and then people use more of it, so some of the benefits start to disappear. Like fuel-efficient cars encouraging more driving, or more efficient appliances that will lead to bigger homes and more devices, or cheap fast fashion that encourages more buying. That's why sustainability is not just efficiency, it's also behavior, systems, incentives, and design. Now let me say something that will annoy both sides. Sustainability is not only a government problem, and it's not only government and corporations alone. It's both. Individuals like myself can absolutely reduce waste, energy use, and consumption, but the biggest wins will come from systems. Clean grids, public transit, building codes, product standards, repairability rules, circular design, and policies that make the sustainable choice a default, such as California's recent ban on single-use plastic bags. Because if the system makes the sustainable option hard, expensive, or inconvenient, most people won't choose it. Real sustainability is designing a world where the default choice is the cleaner choice. So let's all bring it back to just one sentence. Sustainability is whether we can run modern life, energy, food, products, cities, without breaking the Earth's systems we depend on, and without sacrificing people in the process. And in 2026, the pressure points are clear. Climate implementation gaps, rising electricity demand from AI and data centers, biodiversity loss, the circulatory failure, exploding e-waste, and plastics we still haven't solved at scale. Now here's what I want you to do. Comment one everyday product that you actually think is sustainable. It could be paper towels, bottled water, vapes, fast fashion, electric cars, batteries, anything. And I'll do a follow-up video either here on YouTube or on Instagram and TikTok running it through the 5 bucket tests. Climate, nature, water, toxics, materials, and I can show off the trade-offs in real numbers. Subscribe if you want sustainability explained like engineering, systems, data, and real solutions, because sustainability isn't a vibe, it's a test. And we're all taking it whether we realize it or not. Subscribe for more. Follow our socials for more tips and tricks on how to live more sustainably. This is Alexander Nava with Education to Success, and stay on the lookout for future projects that are soon to come.